I hope you like tricks, because today we're playing Loki, God of Mischief from Marvel Superheroes in Legacy Cephalid Breakfast. Let's go check it out. Let's begin by thanking Matthew Story for today's donation deck. Matthew, everyone here at the Epic Storm really does appreciate your continued support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Matthew wanted to see Loki, God of Mischief from Marvel Superheroes in Legacy Cephalid Breakfast, and that's exactly what we're doing today. So if you're unfamiliar with this brand new card, Loki, God of Mischief, for 1 and a blue, you have a legendary God Sorcerer villain that's a 2/1. Whenever a player or permanent becomes the target of an ability you control, draw a card. This ability only triggers once each turn. So that way, if you have something like Nomad's en-Kor, you could target the Loki, God of Mischief, on your turn and their turn, and then draw 2 cards. This is sort of a Nadu-at-home that Cephalid Breakfast gets to play, and Cephalid Breakfast took a huge hit when Nadu was banned. Nadu is a 3-mana creature that forces you to play green. Loki is a 2-mana value creature that doesn't require you to splash a color. That said, it's certainly less powerful than Nadu, which is now banned in Legacy. So we're instead playing Loki, God of Mischief. And if you're unfamiliar with this deck, the idea is that you want to combine Cephalid Illusionist, which mills 3 cards whenever it becomes the target of a spell or an ability, and then something like Shuko, which you can equip over and over again to target the Cephalid Illusionist and then mill, or ideally Nomad's en-Kor, so that way you could target the Illusionist, deck yourself, and then you'll trigger 3 copies of Narcomoeba that go from the graveyard onto the battlefield. You'll cast Dread Return, targeting the Thassa's Oracle, which says you win the game if your devotion is less than or equal to the number of cards in your library. So Thassa's Oracle just wins the game on the spot because you have no library, which is really nice. So you're looking to deck yourself and then Thassa's Oracle win, and you have backup from something like Force of Will, Daze, or even the one of Cabal Therapy that you could use to sacrifice a Narcomoeba to discard the Dread Return or Thassa's Oracle from your hand. So that's the idea. You're a little bit of combo control. I wouldn't say you're a dedicated combo deck, because you certainly have control elements in your deck, such as Swords to Plowshares, for example. And yeah, that's really what we're doing today. I think a cool aspect of this deck list is that Relic of Progenitus actually triggers the Loki, God of Mischief, which means that you can use it to draw cards that way, which is pretty sweet. So once again, thank you to Matthew Story. Thank you to everyone for watching. I hope Loki Cephalid Breakfast goes well. Let's see if that's a reality in the matches. I'll see you in the first one. Don't go anywhere. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also show your support by becoming a member of this channel. You get sweet perks such as badges, emotes, early access to videos, exclusive members-only content, and access to our members Discord section. As you increase the tiers, there are other rewards such as shop discounts, cyborg guides, and even free donation decks. Click the join button down below to find out more. We also have other ways you can support us, like theepicstorm.com/shop, or submitting a donation deck via theepicstorm.com/donation decks. That's enough for now. Let's play some Magic. Welcome to match number 1. We're on the draw versus someone who has revealed Yorion Sky Nomad. I would guess Death and Taxes, which means that this Relic of Progenitus probably isn't very useful, but we do have a Swords to Plowshares I will keep. And they're mulliganing to 4, so I'm going to guess Death and Taxes. They just took a mulligan to 3. Love it. And I'm just playing fair Magic today for the most part. Alright, hope your 3 cards are good. Island? What? Alright, maybe not Death and Taxes. We'll play Polluted Delta, pass the turn. They play Flooded Strand, a control deck that mulligan to 3. Wow. Okay. Cephalid Illusionist, love to see it. I'm just playing out my fetches for now, because if they're a control deck with Wasteland, I want the basic lands. So I'm trying to decide if I want to search out the basic island or not. They grab a Meticulous Archive. Gets rid of a Solitude. Main deck Lavinia Azorius Renegade. I think I would like to Brainstorm here. Okay, let's play the Brainstorm. I definitely don't want Thassa's Oracle or Relic of Progenitus. I will fetch. We'll grab Meticulous Archive. Cephalid Illusionist. We'll keep that in case they have Swords to Plowshares. Oh, oops, I meant to Daze. I accidentally clicked OK. I guess I'll use Swords to Plowshares on the Lavinia then and hope that it resolves. Swords to Plowshares, they have 2 cards. It does resolve. We'll play Urza's Saga. and Cephalid Illusionist. Pass the turn. They have 3 cards in their hand. We draw another Brainstorm. Urza Saga goes to the second chapter. We'll play the basic planes and pass. There's no reason to attack into a possible Thalia. That would just be foolish. They now have 4 cards in their hand. End step will make a construct token. In case they manage to stop us, let's just be thorough and make the backup game plan here. Draw Caracas. And now we'll grab a Shuko. Play the Caracas. Equip. Trigger. Auto yield. Auto yield to the Narcomoeba. Auto yield to Shuko. Save targets. Okay. And we're just going to continue to deck ourselves. So far we've only milled over the Dread Return. We have not hit the Cabal Therapy yet. Okay. So they mulligan to 3 for a main deck Lavinia Azorius Renegade. Wild. And there's the Cabal Therapy. Let's play it. Sacrifice a Narcomoeba. We can name, like, I don't know. They might be on, like, the Aether Vial deck, so we can name, like, Fairy Macabre. And they just concede instead. Okay. We likely don't want the Relic of Progenitus, but I wouldn't mind the Needle. Like, they're likely an Aether Vial Fairy Macabre deck with Recruiter of the Guard. I don't know how good the rest of my sideboard is in this matchup, to be honest with you. So I think I'm going to just submit this. Game 2 on the draw, our opponent has revealed Yorion Sky Nomad, and I've opened up a hand with the combo with double Forcible Backup, but no lands. I don't think we're allowed to keep this. We will keep here. Get rid of the Tundra. They begin with an Arid Mesa and pass. We draw another Tundra. We'll play Ponder. This is garbage. We will shuffle. Urza's Saga. Okay. They fetch with Arid Mesa. Meticulous Archive. Prismatic Vista. Basic Plains. And Lavinia's back. We'll play Urza's Saga. Trigger. Cephalid Illusionist. Pass. That's interesting. That looked like an F6. I wonder if they don't have any interaction. They have Swords to Plowshares. We will mill 3. I hit both Shukos and a Narcomoeba. That is bad luck. This Urza Saga can now only get Pithing Needle. Wow, that is terrible luck. They attack for 1. I'm sorry, they'll attack for 2. I go to 19. I was thinking about how I'm going to attack them back for 1. And they missed their 3rd land. Urza Saga. We'll play Tundra. And let's swing at them. I am the beatdown. Hear me roar. Okay, you're losing this race. You're at 17, I'm at 19. Clearly I'm winning. They swing, I'll go to 17. It's now a tie ball game. They're making white for Wrath of the Skies for 0. I don't even know if I want to fight over this. Like, it feels like it's a bad call because I could Swords to Plowshares I guess I could Brainstorm and see if I draw Daze. That's sort of free here. But then I don't get the perfect Brainstorm. I'll Swords to Plowshares on Lavinia. Let's see if this resolves. Does. Alright, let's Brainstorm, because now if I hit Daze, I can still make a construct. I don't. We'll put back 2 lands. Wrath of the Skies resolves. I wonder if I'm supposed to just shove here. We'll play Polluted Delta, fetch. They have 5 cards in their hand. We'll grab Underground Sea. We'll play Nomad's en-Kor and Cephalid Illusionist. And our opponent concedes the match! Let's go! Take that, Lavinia Enjoyer. You just hate seeing those people lose. I'm about to fall over. Yeah, I'm often balancing on one leg while I play. I don't know why. It's just like a bad habit that I do. But, you know, seeing the Lavinia players lose just brings me so much joy. You know, you're playing this hateful card in a hateful deck, and then you still lose? You just sort of deserve it. Anyway, enough of me rambling and almost falling over. We are 1-0. Let's go play match number 2.
Building a new deck usually means getting hit with a dozen different shipping fees from a dozen different sellers. It adds up fast, and honestly, it's the worst part of buying cards. That's why I switched to Card Trader Zero. You shop their global marketplace, but instead of having every seller ship to you, they ship to Card Trader's hub first. Card Trader then packs everything into a single shipment for you, and it saves a small fortune on shipping fees. This package from Card Trader just arrived. These are 4 Dark Rituals that came from 4 different sellers, but they all arrived in one envelope, and every card was quality checked by the Card Trader team before it hit my door. Check out the link in the description to try Card Trader Zero's optimizer for yourself. Stop paying for multiple shipments and get just one.
We are back for the second round with Legacy Cephalid Breakfast on the play. We will keep our opponent with a mulligan to 5. I don't know if that means they're looking for Force of Will or they're an opposing combo deck. Who knows? Underground Sea and Ponder. We still look like a combo deck here. Am I supposed to... I guess I just keep this. Days and Nomads en-Kor. Pass the turn. They have their own Underground Sea. Dark Ritual. I think we let that go. Doomsday! I will Daze the Doomsday. There's 3 cards in their hand. Wow, turn 1 Doomsday with backup. Disgusting. So we know that there's an Underground Sea in their hand. They're playing Vroomsday with the Fantastic Heart, but they're also playing Flow State. You normally don't see both of these in the same deck. So a little surprised by that. There's only 3 copies of Force of Will in their pile. 1, 2, and 3. So, in their exile, not their pile. So they either have a Force of Will in their pile or in their hand. We'll play Flooded Strain and pass. They play Underground Sea that we knew that they had. They cast Brainstorm. We're going to allow this to resolve. So at this point, you sort of have to assume they have the Force of Will that is missing. They play Lion's Eye Diamond. They cycle Street Wraith, discarding Edge of Autumn and Street Wraith. Interesting. A little surprised they built a Lion's Eye Diamond pile when I showed them Days. So now they'll consider. And their last card should be the Oracle. So I have 7 cards that win us game number 1 here. 4 copies of Force of Will. I'm sorry, 6 cards. 4 copies of Force of Will and 2 copies of Days. I'll grab the basic island so that way they don't know that we're playing white. And I'll play Brainstorm. I did not hit, so we lose game number 1 to Doomsday. Unfortunate. Them the break sometimes. We'll bring in Force of Negation and Sign to Memory. I don't know if we want Orm's Chant or not. I'm going to bring them in, but I might end up siding those out. We don't want Relic of Progenitus. I don't think that this is a very good Loki matchup, so I'm going to get rid of Loki. That's still 65 cards, which is a lot. We probably don't need Swords to Plowshares. So that's 61, and then maybe board out the Caracas. I don't hate this. Alright, let's try this out. Yeah, so I'm not blaming the opponent or trying to ridicule them or anything here, but I am just surprised that they built a Lion's Eye Diamond all-in pile after seeing that I tried to daze their Doomsday. They could have just built a Cycler pile that won with Cavern of Souls and not risked anything, but instead they took an aggressive line to win 1 turn earlier. I don't know their full thought process or logic. It's just from my side of the table, based on the information that I have, it felt very risky, but it ended up working out for them. So I'm not saying it's necessarily wrong, but it's just risk that they didn't have to take. We'll mulligan here. No interaction. That isn't good. Like, you have the combo, but you have 2 terrible cards too. We'll mulligan. Garbage. Down to 4. Keep. Get rid of Undercity Sewers and Tundra. We have to. This isn't a 5, it's a 4. Ugh. Get rid of Polluted Delta. I doubt that I win this one. We'll play Flooded Strand and pass the turn. They have Polluted Delta. We will fetch. Grab Meticulous Archive. Get rid of the Cephalid Illusionist. I can't afford to keep that here. And now we'll play Cephalid Illusionist. It somehow resolves. We will pass the turn. They search out Undercity Sewers. Verdant Catacombs. They fetch. Lotus Petal. Gothy Voidwalker. That seems odd. I mean, did they know that I was on Cephalid Breakfast based on Underground Sea Days? Like, this seems very, very strange to me. I guess we'll attack. They can't block. Pass the turn. Maybe this person is just like 12 steps or like 12 levels above me because like their decisions are not lining up for me here. Like going all in game 1 and then boarding in Gothy Voidwalker in the blind. Unless they thought I was Dimir Reanimator. Brainstorm is a fine draw. We'll attack. If I want to win this, I probably need to find Urza's Saga. I guess we'll Brainstorm, because if my out is Urza's Saga, I need to try to find it. And I didn't. Put back Cabal Therapy, Narcomoeba. Play the Nomads en-Kor. Pass the turn. And step they Brainstorm. They have Misty Rainforest. They fetch down to 15. Borogoyf? Yeah, you got me. Maybe they just went full juke? And that's why they have Gothy Voidwalkers? I don't know. They did not attack. We'll use the Illusionist. But I boarded out my Swords to Plowshares too, because I wasn't expecting the Gothy Voidwalkers. We draw Polluted Delta. We'll play Brainstorm. Get rid of both copies of Force of Negation. We'll fetch with the Polluted Delta. I don't think my deck can even beat Dauthi Voidwalker. Like, I don't have a single out to it in my deck right now. I guess I could draw Thassa's Oracle, and then that's my out. Ponder, shuffle, pass the turn. They attack with Barrogoyf. We'll take it. They mill over Consign to Memory, Thoughtseize, Force of Negation. And now they play a Flow State. That happens. Another Consign to Memory. We'll play Undercity Sewers, Surveil. I think we want Ponder. Pass the turn. Maybe I'm not even allowed to keep the Ponder because I should be using the Cephalid Illusionist this turn to block the Barrogoyf. So we'll block Barrogoyf and then prevent the damage. Activate the Illusionist. They're going to Consign to Memory my trigger, it looks like. Well, they paused there. Maybe not. Okay. So I'll take 3 from the Dauthi Voidwalker. I go to 9. We're just praying that I draw Thassa's Oracle. Murktide Regent. That is a big dragon. I think I have to attempt a Force of Will here. Or do I accept that I'm dead and just try to protect my combo? Because, like, right now, my Force would lose to a Daze, which they probably have. So I think we let this go and then just try to spike my Oracle and protect it. They must have went full juke, which is why they brought in the Dauthi Voidwalker. Now they play a Lotus Petal. Alright, so we have 1 draw here. It was the wrong wizard. We needed a different blue wizard as our draw step. It did not happen. Okay. So we lose. I can't block the Murktide Regent or the Dauthi Voidwalker due to Shadow and Flying. So we lose match number 2. The mulligan to 4, this game was just miserable. You could argue that the 6 was playable, but versus Fantastic Doomsday, a hand with no interaction that just looked to win turn 3 with no protection at all, I just don't think you're allowed to keep that personally. But we lose the match. As it happens, we are now 1-1. Looking to make playing your favorite combo deck much easier? Look no further than the Epic Storm Mini Combo Pack, which is available at theepicstorm.com/shop for $15.99. This token combo pack comes with 84 double-sided tokens featuring classic Storm and Mana tokens with new inclusions such as our modern Ruby Storm package, but that's not all. Our token pack covers a variety of formats from Pauper to CDH with new tokens. Stop on by theepicstorm.com/shop and make an easy decision to elevate your combo game. Match number 3, we're on the draw. This hand is, it's close. Like, the Dread Return is bad. We don't have anything to trigger the Lokis. One of the Lokis could be a blue card for Force of Will. We're on the draw. I mean, this hand isn't amazing, but I think I'm actually going to keep it. My game plan here is to find something to trigger 1 Loki, find the second land off Ponder. The Dread Return can hopefully be converted with something like a Brainstorm. Underground Sea, Thoughtseize. Okay. They take the Ponder. I believe that was the correct decision. I don't have the second land yet, so it makes sense. And now I'm forced to try to Surveil here. We'll play Polluted Delta and pass. They play their own copy of Polluted Delta and a Ponder. And step I will fetch. If they're on Dimir tempo and I get Wastelanded, I'm going to be sad. But I believe it's correct here to grab the Meticulous Archive. We'll get rid of the Daze. I just need to find that second land. We'll play Ponder, and they Force of Will exiling Flow State. I guess they'll Force of Will back here. They have 2 cards. We'll Ponder. This is pretty good. I think I want to leave the Relic of Progenitus in the middle, because they could be on Reanimator. We'll play the Flooded Strand and pass. Relic of Progenitus also works well with Loki, God of Mischief. The second Underground Sea, 2 mana. Flow State, we will Daze, picking up Meticulous Archive. There's 2 cards in their hand. I think we're just going to grab the other Surveil land here. Undercity Sewers. Get rid of Underground Sea. We'll play Meticulous Archive. Goodbye to Island, and now we'll play Ponder. I don't think this is even good. I'm going to shuffle. Alright, well, I got the best card out of those 3, so I'll take it. They play land number 3, 2 cards in hand. A third copy of Flow State. And now they fetch with Polluted Delta, another Underground Sea, and Ponder. They shuffle, 3 cards in hand. Urza Saga, not a bad one. We'll play the Cephalid Illusionist. I don't know if they're on Doomsday. It could be Reanimator. It could just be Dimir Tempo. I'm not really sure. But if they've been paying attention, they know all 3 of the cards in my hand. Flow state number 4. And it is, in fact, Doomsday. There's the Fantasticar. This isn't good for me. Looks like I'm going to 1 here. Another Mishra's Bauble. Actually, hold up. I can Swords a token here, so I'll take 12. Alright, let's Swords a token. Okay. We need to draw Nomad's en-Kor or a Shuko. Draw. Brainstorm, okay. Gives me a chance. Play the Brainstorm. That is not it. So if I Swords another token, I take 8 and die. So I think I have to ponder into... No, I'm just dead. I don't think that this can convert. I guess I could ponder into Shuko. That is my only out. So we'll play ponder. We actually hit the Shuko. So we need their 3 cards to not interact. Shuko. Hell yeah. Equip. And they concede. Nice. We found the line. Getting revenge on Doomsday. Or Vroomsday. We'll bring in Consign to Memory. We're just going to board the same as we did in the previous match, but hopefully not mulligan into Oblivion in the post-board games. Take out Swords to Plowshares. I could leave in 1 after seeing Dothy in the previous match, but most lists aren't playing it right now, and I know that because I just recorded Vroomsday. And I saw that most people aren't playing it. But if I want to, I could leave in 1 Swords to Plowshares. We'll take out the Loki God of Mischief, which we haven't even really got to use this league. It's supposed to be the Loki League, but it just hasn't really been appropriate yet. Take out the Caracas and the Relic of Progenitus. Okay. I would like to use Loki. Can we make that happen? He says after sideboarding it out. Game 2 on the draw, we will keep. Polluted Delta, Lotus Petal. They fetch. 2 mana, Dothy Voidwalker. Yep. Alright, I will Force of Will, exile Brainstorm. I'm just being... They must have, like, copy-pasted somebody's list from over the weekend. Because I recorded Vroomsday last week, and there's not Dothy Voidwalkers in the deck list like this. We'll play Urza Saga, pass the turn. So next turn I can play Illusionist, and then on the following turn, Saga will grab Shuko. And if they had a Daze, they would have protected the Dothy there. So I don't think I should be playing around Daze. Oh, the Illusionist! No! Now I'm punished for playing out the Saga, but I think it was the right move. And now they have Undercity Sewers. Okay, 3 cards in their hand. We'll play Island and pass. Maybe my line was just too greedy. I don't know. Because now I'm not going to get much value off of this Urza Saga. Scalding Tarn, 3 cards in their hand. Below state. That resolves. Mishra's Bauble. They're fetching with Scalding Tarn. And now a Ponder. There's 3 cards in their hand, but they're about to draw off Mishra's Bauble. On the end step, I'll Brainstorm, using this as a shuffle effect to get rid of the Thassa's Oracle. Alright, so they'll draw, and now we're going to lose our Urza Saga. Oh, wait, did I stack that? I must have. I could have swore I stacked it, so I was drawing Orm's Chant. What is wrong with me? I mean, like, I guess I have a blue card now, but I don't want the Oracle in my hand. We will pass. 4 cards. Dark Ritual. That is a Barrogoyf. Am I supposed to counter this? I don't think so. We'll let it go. There's 2 cards remaining in their hand. Do they, like, leave up? Well, like, why burn the Dark Ritual there? Unless you're, like, going to hardcast Force of Negation? So, like, are we supposed to read that the last card in their hand is Force of Negation? 2 cards left. Thoughtseize. I mean, my hand sucks. Sure. Also, like, a thing that I don't know if I understand here is this opponent knew we were on Cephalid Breakfast. I don't think you're supposed to juke into Beatdown versus Cephalid Breakfast. That seems odd to me. Like, this is a pure combo matchup. So, like, juking into Beatdown, maybe they're like, oh, Bryant takes out Swords to Plowshares. But still, I think you're better off just being the better combo deck in the matchup. Like, if I was on the Doomsday side, I would not be boarding into Barrogoyf. Alright, give me Cephalid Illusionist. Pretty please. Nope. To the graveyard. We draw Tundra. I guess we'll play the Thassa's Oracle here. We get a blocker for the Barrogoyf, and I get to dig deeper for Illusionist. There it is. Play Nomad's en-Kor. Pass the turn. They swing, we'll block. 2 cards in their hand. They play a Flooded Strand. 1 card remains. Boomerang Basics. Sure, I guess you got to cycle that Boomerang Basics. They play a Mishra's Bauble. And now they get to look at my Cephalid Illusionist. Hope your card was good. The opponent says GG's opponent. Yeah, we win versus Doomsday this time, and we are now 2-1. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. They support over 30 formats, including Legacy and many other Eternal formats. There are so many options to view decks the way that you want, from text view to individual cards, mana value, and even card price. There's also light mode and dark mode. My personal favorite feature is card tags. This way you can sort cards by function. Moxfield supports collection tracking, Scryfall search, decklist feedback, and so much more. Follow me on Moxfield.com so you can stay updated on all of my decks. We are back for the fourth match, and we're on the play. Yeah, we'll try this. Keep. Very, very good hand. I do need to find the other half of the combo, but we have double backup. If they're on a creature deck, we have Source of Plowshares. There's a lot to like here. We'll play Ponder. I think we keep this. Cabal Therapy on the bottom. Daze, and then Loki, God of Mischief. Pass the turn. They play Underground Sea, of course. We'll Daze the Thoughtseize. Picking up Island. Play Flooded Strand, pass the turn. I really don't want to draw the Cabal Therapy on the deck, so I will be fetching with the Flooded Strand. Whether it's Meticulous Archive or Basic Plains, I haven't figured out yet. Cameo Inquisitive Student, that resolves. Undercity Sewers. Alright, so they're just Dimir Tempo. Okay. I think I'm going to just grab the Basic Plains, and then we'll go to our turn. Another Loki, God of Mischief. Just remove the Tameo now. They have 5 cards in their hand. So by doing this on my main phase, I play around Daze on their side. So I think that's just worth it to not give in to opposing copies of Daze. Polluted Delta, so they have 5 cards in hand, 3 mana in play. Caracas, love it. Loki, God of Mischief. In theory, if you squint really hard, you can use the Caracas to draw a card. It only puts you down 2 mana. Only 2 mana. Loki, God of Mischief, and we will pass. The second copy of Orcish Bowmasters. I think I'm supposed to fight here. I'll Force of Will, exiling the other copy of Loki, God of Mischief. They Force Will back, exiling Force of Will. I'll target Loki with the Caracas. This will draw me a card. We draw Flooded Strand. And now the Orcish Bowmasters resolves. They have 2 cards in hand. I go to 17. They fetch with Polluted Delta and grab a second copy of Undercity Sewers. So you can't say that I did not use Loki in this league. I drew at least 1 card off of it. And it wasn't even a very good one, but I drew a card. They attack for 2, I'll go to 15. Is this a Kaito? It is, and I cannot daze it because it's an activated ability. That's annoying. Okay. And now they get to Surveil. Very good draw from the opponent here. Thoughtseize into Force of Will with Orcish Bowmasters plus Kaito. They curved very, very well. They play land number 4. And I believe I can Caracas the Kaito now because it's no longer... No, it's back to being a Planeswalker. So I guess you can't Caracas the Kaito? Yeah, it just doesn't work. We'll play Flooded Strand. Play the Loki, God of Mischief. Pass the turn. They attack with the Kaito. I guess I'll block and then try to bounce. They can kill it with the Bowmasters, but I think that's okay. And we'll fetch and Surveil here. We'll grab Meticulous Archive. Don't want or need Cabal Therapy. Now the Loki triggers, which will create an Orcish Bowmasters triggers. I draw a second copy of Cephalid Illusionist. Basically, I did this because it denies them the second ability of Surveil 2 and then draw a card if you dealt damage. Oh no, they still get to draw because I fetched. I messed up. Okay. I should have read it more clearly. Yeah, that's my bad. And now they play Flow State. Cameo Inquisitive Student. They're fetching with Polluted Delta. They play Ponder. And this should transform the Tameo. Okay, I really need to draw into Nomad's en-Kor here. Honestly, Shuko might be better than Nomad's en-Kor because it can't die. Urza Saga was a pretty bad draw. We'll play the Urza Saga, Cephalid Illusionist, and now another copy of Cephalid Illusionist. Pass the turn. They play Fatal Push, and then because they found Fatal Push, they can pick it up with the Tameo and then kill both of my Illusionists. So I'm probably just dead here. Alright, we can go to game number 2. Bummer. We'll get rid of the Relic of Progenitus. Is that any worse than... Is it better or worse than Needle in the matchup? Because you can use Relic to make Tameo bad, you could shrink Borrowglyphs, In a pinch it cycles. It might actually be better. I think I'm going to leave the deck as it is and we'll try again. On the play for game number 2. I suppose we can keep. It's not particularly good, but if I manage to draw either Loki or the Illusionist, we have the combo plus theoretically double backup. We'll play Meticulous Archive, get rid of the basic planes, pass. We have Polluted Delta into Thoughtseize. I think I'm probably supposed to try to protect the Shuko here. I will Force of Will. And of course we draw another Shuko. I should have just let the Thoughtseize bug happen. What was I thinking? We'll play Polluted Delta, play the Shuko, pass the turn. I mean, I was 100% to draw Shuko there, due to the Thoughtseize bug, which totally exists. And instead, I no longer have Force of Will or a Narcomoeba. We will fetch Undercity Sewers. Who's the beatdown now? Narcomoeba triggers. That's just free value. Play Cabal Therapy. And now they're thinking about if they want to flash in Orcish Bowmasters or not. They're going to Fatal Push Narcomoeba. Okay. I think if they had Bowmasters, they probably would have played it there over the Fatal Push. Or they have double Fatal Push. I still think I'm going to say Orcish Bowmasters. Nope. They do have a Borrowglyph, Brainstorm, Toxic Delusion, and a Surgical Extraction. I'll play Caracas, play the second copy of Shuko, and we'll pass. They play the Swamp in the Drew Flow state. There's no justice. Draw for turn. Play the Flooded Strand, we'll pass. They search out Undercity Sewers on the end step with the Polluted Delta, and they did not put the card to the graveyard. They have a Wasteland. Goodbye to Caracas. Tameo. Will search to Plowshares on the Tameo. They have 4 cards in hand. Draw for turn. Loki. Let's go. Play the Loki. This at least gets to draw 1 card using Shuko. We have not got to live the dream so far this match of Loki plus Nomads en-Kor, or even this video of being able to use Nomads en-Kor to draw cards on both turns. They have Force of Will blue card. No way. Brutal. Alright. They play a Borrowglyph. And there's the Nomads en-Kor. I think I'm supposed to just pass the turn here. They attack with Borrowglyph. Ouch. They did not hit any creatures. Little bit of luck there. A second copy of Borrowglyph. Alright, Cephalid Illusionist? Nope. What about another land instead? We will pass. Actually, yeah. We know that they have Toxic Deluge, so there's no real point in playing out the Nomads. The first Borrowglyph trigger, it's Tameo Inquisitive Student, and the next one misses altogether. Thoughtseize. So that's a downside because now I can't go Nomads en-Kor, Cabal Therapy, Flashback, named Surgical if I do draw the Cephalid Illusionist. But I guess they could just Surgical the Narcomoeba anyway, so maybe there's no opportunity for me to win this game anyway, which isn't something I realized until just now. Alright, well, we lose the match. I'm not surprised that this deck lost to Dimir Tempo. Dimir Tempo is designed to beat combo decks, and Orcish Bowmasters is very good against Cephalid Breakfast, and Loki in particular. So we are now 2-2.
The Gold Sabertooth times the Epic Storm collection has arrived with 3 full-size tokens showcasing the beloved Dark Ritual, CDH Rogsai, and Legacy of the Epic Storm for just $5. On the backs of these tokens, there's a place for my signature or a custom message. In addition to these sweet tokens, a friendly reminder that all orders that ship from theepicstorm.com also come with a signed Storm token from yours truly.
The final round of this Legacy League, we are on the play with Cephalid Breakfast looking to close it out. We have Shuko and Loki, God of Mischief, with Days backup. Keep. Hopefully we get to show off Loki a little bit more in this final round. We'll fetch with Polluted Delta, going to go grab the basic island here. Shuko. Pass the turn. They play Urza's Saga. Okay. Mox Diamond. So lands. Gets rid of another copy of Urza's Saga. Sphere of Resistance. I think, unfortunately, we're supposed to let that happen. We'll play Plains and Nomads en-Kor. Pass the turn. So by playing the Nomads en-Kor this turn, next turn cycle, so next turn I play Caracas and a Loki, Nomads en-Kor actually draws 2 cards in that turn cycle. Another Sphere of Resistance. That's annoying. We'll play Caracas and attack for 1. Oh, I should have equipped. What was I thinking? What was I thinking? I just lost a point of damage. I'm an idiot. Shame equip. Pass the turn. Urza Saga goes to the 3rd chapter. They have a 4/4 construct. And they grab a Soul Guide Lantern. Okay. Their construct is now a 5/5. They have an Ancient Tomb. End step, we will Swords to Plowshares on the construct. I would like a land here. Nope. Go to attacks. Get in there. Pass the turn. They have Wasteland for my Karakas. We'll play Brainstorm. Well, there's lands. That's good. We'll put 2 lands on top. And I can't play any more spells. They have Expedition Map to go find Merit Lodge. I'm probably dead. I can't play the Loki because it costs 4. I guess I could have stacked my Brainstorm so that way I think our top card is a fetch land. They use the Soul Guide Lantern to draw a card. Looks like they're going to use the map here to go grab the Dark Depths. They are lacking 1 mana to activate it, so it looks like I'll be able to play the Loki. Ooh, they're grabbing Urza Saga and not the Dark Depths. Okay. I may have just caught a break there. We'll play Flooded Strand. Let's fetch. We'll grab Tundra. Loki, God of Mischief. And we'll target the Loki to draw a card, which is apparently a Nerk Amoeba. And now we'll attack for 2. Pass the turn. Urza Saga goes to the 2nd chapter. They have their own Karakas. I'll target the Loki so I draw a card. Now Loki will be bounced. We're at 14. We draw our own Urza Saga. We'll play Urza Saga. And I think I just want to play the Loki again to draw cards. Pass the turn. If I attack here, their creature just eats up my Nomads en-Kor, so there's no real point. They create a construct, and they're going to Besage Who Endures on my Urza Saga. Okay. We'll grab Meticulous Archive. Ponder costs 3. I think I just have to get rid of it. Did I target the Loki? Okay, I did. I'm just going to make sure. If I draw a Cephalid Illusionist, I think there's a chance we could win. Right, they create another giant construct token. Ooh, now they can name the Nomad so I don't draw off of the Loki this turn. I was not expecting a Needle there. And now they bounce the Loki. Yeah, I mean, that's a good play on their part. I did not expect Needle off of Saga. I'll take 6, I go to 12. Ponder, I guess we'll play it. Ponder. Thassa's Oracle is not great here. I think we're supposed to shuffle. Brainstorm that costs 3. Pass the turn. They still have 3 cards in their hand. I must block or else I lose, so we'll block 1 and take 6. So end step, I'm supposed to Brainstorm, tapping the Polluted Delta for mana due to the Yavimaya Cradle of Growth. And then in my upkeep, I can use that Polluted Delta to fetch. They're going to Away from the Loam and get back Besage, which I can't beat. So I don't think I have the luxury of the Brainstorm now, and I just have to Force of Will this Life from the Loam. Paying 2 mana. Exile the Loki, God of Mischief. And then we can Surveil. That's my one opportunity here. So I'll go to 4. We need to find Cephalid Illusionist, and there's 4 of them in the deck. I can't play Ponder, I just don't have time. That doesn't do it either. Probably dead, but we'll just cast the Brainstorm. Swords to Plowshares do not keep me alive. They got me. I mean, we got to do the Loki thing. Like, I drew a couple cards off of it, but unfortunately, the game just didn't really allow me to pull ahead using the Loki. We definitely want the Needle. I don't know how good Relic is. I think we're going to board down 2 copies of Loki and keep 2 of them in the deck. And I'll board in the other Relic as well. And we'll try this. I don't know about Force of Negation. Like, Force Negation could be okay. It's just like, what are you supposed to cut here? The other Lokis? But I think the card advantage from Loki could end up being huge in order to beat Graveyard Hate. It's just the fact that it's a Legend versus the Karakas deck isn't ideal. And I died that game with a bunch of counter magic in my hand, which tells me, like, do I really want to be boarding in more counter magic that forces me to go down on card advantage? It's a tough balance. And ultimately, I think we lost that game because I never found the Cephalid Illusionist. Game number 2 on the play. I really don't like this Dread Return, but I think the rest of the hand is fine, so we'll keep. Polluted Delta, let's go grab our basic island. Here we go. And Ponder. I think we keep this. Pass the turn. They play Besage Who Endures and Exploration. I think we daze this. Just try to slow them down a little bit. Fetch with the Flooded Strand. I know that it's my shuffle effect for the Brainstorm, but I really don't want to draw Thassa's Oracle next turn, so that is my logic. Grab another island. I could grab the plains, but then I'm stuck with double white source, which isn't particularly useful. Ancient Tomb. They play Pithing Needle. They name Shuko. Surprise. Swords to Plowshares. Let's try the Brainstorm. Get rid of Dread Return and... Tough call. Probably the second Swords to Plowshares. We'll play Polluted Delta and pass. Thespian Stage. Fetch. Grab Meticulous Archive. Keep the Ponder. Play Ponder. They have 5 cards in hand. These are terrible. We will shuffle. Play the Flooded Strand and pass. And step they play Disruptor Flute. Sure. So this is probably going to name Swords to Plowshares. And it does. And now they have Dark Depths. And step will Brainstorm. Get rid of Narcomoeba and Basic Island. We'll fetch. Grab Undercity Sewers. Keep the Brainstorm. Play Caracas, pass. I can pay for Disruptor Flute if need be. They're going to Besage you on my Caracas. Float a white. Yes. Grab the Plains. And now they have Urza's Saga. I could have Brainstormed on the end step, but I was worried about losing access to Swords to Plowshares, but maybe that was just wrong. Now we draw Thassa's Oracle. Play Brainstorm. And that was pretty bad. Put back Thassa's Oracle and 1 copy of Swords to Plowshares, because I can only play 1 anyway. Pass the turn. They copy my Urza Saga. Okay. And now they have a Mox Diamond. Gets rid of Tabernacle. Bajuka Bog. Sure. Imagine drawing Cephalid Illusionist in your combo deck. Could not be me. Here we're drawing the other copy of Swords to Plowshares. We will pass. They create a giant construct. I think we're just dead. We know that we're drawing a Thassa's Oracle. So if I play Swords, they can copy the Dark Depths and then swing. Or if I make a blocker here. Yeah, they just have me on lockdown. Okay. I mean, in theory, I made a mistake because I should have Brainstormed when they did the Beseiju play. That's on me. That is my own fault, and I'm not trying to blame anyone else for that. I don't know if it mattered. Like, that's my honest feedback of, like, I just don't think it really mattered. But I could be wrong. Maybe I hit the perfect 3 cards and then we end up winning, but it doesn't seem very likely. So, Loki God of Mischief was okay. We did assemble Nomads en-Kor and Loki, but it didn't really get off the ground. We had Shuko Loki. We had Caracas Loki. It just felt like Loki was a little bit of low impact, and maybe it's not worth it. I could be wrong, but I think Flow State probably would have just been better on average. That's my 100% honest feedback with you, as I think Flow State probably would have helped find Cephalid Illusionist a little bit more often, and then we wouldn't have games where we were just sitting ducks. But that's what I've got for today. Thank you to Matthew Story for the donation deck. I really do appreciate your support. If you have any thoughts, comments, suggestions, whatever, put those down below. But I have to say, Loki God of Mischief maybe tricked me in that we shouldn't be playing it. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and as always, keep storming. That was a sweet donation deck. If you're interested in seeing your favorite combo deck here at the Epic Storm, visit theepicstorm.com/donation decks, where you can submit a deck to be featured here on this channel. And on top of that, if you're a higher member tier of this channel, like a Stormtrooper or a Combo Cabal, you get 50% off or even free. So there's tons of perks. Submit a donation deck today.